this offseason as a team we're extremely excited about. They went and got a quarterback that I think is a little bit different than what we're used to seeing in this program. So it's Utah. Devon Dampier comes from New Mexico. Spencer Furneaux, their right tackle, one of the best in the country. They have probably the best line of scrimmage talent in the Big 12. And it's the kind of line of scrimmage talent you think if they can win the Big 12 or if they, make the playoff, like, because you don't have to win it necessarily to make the playoff. But if they get into the playoff, if they faced a Big 10 or SEC type team, their trench play could keep them in it.
So I don't know if you know this, Andy. Did you know that my brother-in-law went to Utah and is a huge Utah fan?
I was not aware of that. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, he lives in Salt Lake. You knew that. But
yeah.
So I was like talking to him a few weeks ago about Utah, and we were just talking. And then I was talking to Utah people at Big 12 Media Day, and I got asked to come on 2 Utah shows yesterday. And here's my thesis on Utah.
Yep.
We know what Utah is, right? It is a very consistently disciplined and tough team that's very good along the trenches. And what we also know about Utah is that at times in the past, they have lost in big moments or weren't able to get over the hump because they didn't have the dynamic skill position players necessary to compete with the biggest boys. If Utah, especially in the Big 12, can continue to be what they've always been, which is a strong, disciplined, tough-lined team, and then you add in dynamic players in an era that you can get them in a way that you never could before, like Utah could be setting itself up in this era to being one of the most consistently good teams in the Big 12 and a team that you go into it with the expectation that they're going to either compete to or win the Big 12 on an annual basis. I would be very excited if I were a Utah fan right now. No?
So Caleb Lomu, the left tackle, Spencer Furneaux, we've talked about a bunch. Dallas Vakalahi, the 315-pound D tackle. Utah's win total at sportsbooks is 7.5. I'm feeling very confident about the over there as long as Devon Dampier is healthy. The Utah UCLA season opener, where you're going to see Nico Iamaleava's first game at UCLA against this Utah defense, I think is going to be fascinating. I am really intrigued by Utah, and I'll tell you, they might be America's team after what we saw yesterday. River, play Spencer Furneaux going emo on us.
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind. I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. 'Cause a girl like you's impossible to find. Impossible to find.
That is a top 5 pick at offensive tackle, singing Secondhand Serenade, like the last dying gasp of emo in 2008. If you can sing that with no shame, you are a real man, Ari. You're a real man.
You know what I don't
Who's going to go to Spencer Furneaux and be like, you can't sing that?
You know what I've never understood? What the emo accent was. You know how they like where did that come from?
Yeah. I want to say it's Chris Carrabba, the lead singer of Dashboard Confessional. I think he's the one that
like this isn't an accent.
Over again.
Like nobody talks like that, but all the emo bands used to do it.
But I just love, like, I had completely forgotten about Secondhand Serenade, and I heard that song and I was like, wow, I love this kid. And he said on Twitter that he might make this a weekly thing.
I hope
he might take requests.
Yeah, no,
now,
he's talented.
So he and Devon Dampier were doing interviews yesterday, and I went over to their table and I asked Spencer what he likes about Devon. Just watch these two guys.
Spencer, what's your favorite thing about him?
My favorite thing about Dev?
Yeah.
I think it's probably like the bracelets. I love the bracelets, man. Like they're very fashionable. They're beautiful.
What was it like when he got there? Because I've had people in the program tell me like everybody gravitated to him immediately. What was it about him?
I don't know. I feel like he's just he's been a pretty humble guy. I think that's the thing about it.
He looks humble.
I don't know. We have a program that's we have some pretty. It's a pretty tough guy program, and there's a lot. If you come in and it's like a little rah-rah or I don't know, cocky, it's a little harder to fit in. And he just wasn't that way. So
it's funny. Everyone says I'm the humble guy. If you were at our practices for like a week, you would not know this is like the guy that's about to get drafted top 5. You know what I mean? You would have no clue. Like that, real humble come from our O-line.
All right, let me ask you then. When you knew you were coming to Utah and you see him on film for the first time, what's going through your mind?
I want that dude blocking for me. And that's just how I go. You back there and you like, oh, I'm protected if I go over there. So, but yeah, I mean, there's 4 other linemen just like Spence that we got this year. So, just to be behind a group like that, we got big things coming this year.
I'm very excited to see these guys play. Talked to Kyle Whittingham for a while yesterday. He acknowledges this is a very different type of offense than what we're used to seeing from them, but he's really excited about it, and here's why. Devon Dampier ran for 1,100 yards in New Mexico last year. I think Kyle Whittingham is perfectly fine with Devon Dampier's limitations as a passer, because all Kyle Whittingham wants to do is smash you, absolutely smash you up front. And that is what they're going to be able to do. And my guess is that people are going to have to dedicate so many resources defensively to the run game that Devon Dampier is going to be able to throw for quite a few yards.
Yeah. And also, too, I don't think you need to be Dan Marino to do that. So,
no.
I know a lot of people.
You can be a good college quarterback. It was like an interesting conversation I had with people from various teams yesterday about people not understanding who's a good college quarterback and thinking we have to have this NFL prospect. We have to have a first-round NFL prospect. No, you can win a lot of games with a good college quarterback.
Yeah, and good college quarterback and good NFL quarterback, the distance between those two things might as well be the Pacific Ocean. Like, that's like, you don't have to be, think about how many really, really good college quarterbacks go to the NFL and don't even sniff a roster. Like, you don't even need, like, I feel like talking about the NFL in comparison to our purposes is such a waste of time even.
Well, and that's the thing, but it dominates the conversation. It sucks all the oxygen out. And we need to understand, like, there's a place for the Bryson Dailies at Army and the Blake Horvaths at Navy, and they can be really successful in college. Raymond in the chat, Riley Leonard last year. Will Howard. Now, Will Howard's on an NFL roster, but Will Howard was the quarterback of the national championship team, and he had to transfer.
Dude, I am sitting over here in my office playing with my stupid little cards, and like this guy here, I was like going through it because this is my worthless stack. Clayton Tune.
Oh, great quarterback in Houston.
Quarterback, right?
Yeah.
In the trash. This is worthless. Does it mean that he wouldn't have been good in the right system in college?
Clayton Tune's a good athlete. Remember when the play went Superman? Yeah.
My entire stack of worthless cards over here. This is a fun game. It's just filled with quarterbacks that will never sniff NFL playing time who are very good in college. All right, I don't want to do this because I don't know where they are, but you know what I'm saying.